This week, 48 Hours investigates the mysterious death of a popular professor at the University of Georgia. In May 2019, Professor Marianne Shockley and her boyfriend, Marcus Lillard, went to their friend's house to swim and listen to music. The friend's name is Clark Heindel. Hours later, he was dead, and so was Marianne. Only her boyfriend, Marcus, was still alive. 48 Hours contributor Jonathan Vigliotti looks at what happened.
We got a good one here. We got a call about the woman's being underwater for a minute or two. Don't touch nothing. No, leave that right there. Don't touch nothing.
It was the early morning of May 12, 2019.
We're going to rope it off and go from there.
And medics and sheriff deputies rushed to a house in Milledgeville, Georgia. The initial report was that a woman had drowned in a hot tub.
What's your name?
Marcus Lillard identified the woman in the hot tub as his girlfriend, college professor Dr. Marianne Shockley.
We get out here and she got a big old gash on her head. I'm telling you, the hair on the back of my neck standing up. Something ain't right with this.
Sir, can I get your name, please?
Clark Heindel owned the property where Marianne died. Marcus said he and Marianne had gone there to socialize.
Had a few beers, smoked a little pot, started listening to some music, had a couple more beers.
Marcus says he and Marianne, but not Clark, got into the hot tub. He initially told deputies he then left her to collect some firewood.
As I dropped the wood off at the fireplace, I could see Marianne slump down.
My mother called me and she said, Marianne's gone. And I just was saying, no, Mama, no, no.
Ayla Crippen is Marianne's sister.
She's drowned in some hot tub. And I was like, Marianne is not stupid. She would not drown in a hot tub.
Something funny with this one, buddy. It ain't adding up.
Deputies suspected a possible homicide, and that was before a shotgun went off inside the house.
Sheriff's office!
Sheriff's office!
By morning, of the 3 people who attended the small party, only Marcus was still alive.
There is good and there is evil, and that night, evil came to play.
Jonathan Vigliotti joins us right now.
No, we're like, wait, 2 people died?
And there was a shotgun, and
Yeah.
who got what?
Yeah, it's a complicated story.
Wow.
Jonathan, so what did the investigators find out about what actually happened?
Yeah, and it's a good question. I think to start off, this was a party of just 3 people. Only 1 person walked away alive. It's hard, perhaps, to ever understand the truth here. Authorities believe they do know the truth based on the evidence. The medical examiner releasing a report that showed indicated strangulation marks on Marianne's neck. They presented that evidence in a trial, and ultimately it did not sway the jury who acquitted Marcus. We sat down with Marcus in an exclusive interview, 3 hours. The entire time, he maintained his innocence. Saying,
What's his defense? What is it?
He says that... It gets even stranger. It all surrounds a hot tub. He disappeared for a period of time, came back. That's when he says that Marianne was found with water up to the brim of her nose. He says they did a lot of drugs that night. They were drinking a lot of alcohol. They were in a hot tub that was hotter than it should be. Marianne had an enlarged heart. All of these are facts.
But the autopsy shows you said strangulation.
Shows strangulation. Those were marks that were found on her neck. So the question is, if there was strangulation involved, as the autopsy reveals, who did it?
What about the Clark guy?
And that's the 3rd person here. So he's
Yeah.
the owner of the home where this party took place. He took his life shortly after police arrived on scene. Many people, including the defense, pointed to that as a possible indication that he could have been responsible in some way. Others, though, say it's very easy to point fingers at a person who's
Can't defend himself.
not alive to talk. So a very complicated story, one where when you hear all 3 sides of it, you still wonder what exactly unfolded.
All right,
Jonathan, glad to have you here at the table.
Yeah.
Not wearing the yellow fire jacket out there.
Yeah.
All right.
A different suit
You
today.
can see Jonathan's report, The Strange Death of Professor Shockley, on 48 Hours tomorrow night at 10/9 Central here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. We'll be right back.